All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Um, Here's another article. All right, with more war talks. All right, and the closer and closer we get into this World War III, all right, we see more and more. All right, of these prophecies screaming. All right, so it says Iran vows crushing response to Israeli strikes in Syria. All right, and we know Iran is a part of that prophecy. All right, that World War III prophecy. Okay, so it says Tehran has warned of a crushing and proportional response unless Israel stops its bombing campaign in Syria, which, according to Tel Aviv, is aimed only at curbing Iranian influence on the region and its borders in particular. The Israel Defense Forces (IDF) have been waging an active campaign against alleged Iranian um, and Hezbollah targets in Syria for years, claiming complete intel and air superiority and full right to protect its national security, despite thousands of Israeli strikes, which a former IDF chief of staff admitted to in December. Iran has yet to openly retaliate, but is open to any options. It says, which there's a reason why they haven't retaliated yet, because that would lead to imminent war. Okay, but understand that this is all part of prophecy, and there's still certain prophecies that need to take place. All right, before this World War III. World War III is gonna be like is the last big major prophecy before Yahushua's return, because he's gonna return in the midst of it. All right, but you still have other things that need to take place before that. All right, the persecution, the demonization, the chip. All right, the RFID microchip. Okay, being pushed on a wide scale. All right, like the scriptures say in Revelation, that shall try the world. All right, the martial law, Jacob's trouble, all of that. Okay, so it says, the FEMA camps, the famines, the pestilence. All right, it says in case of continued acts, the measures foreseen for deterrence and for a crushing and proportional response will be activated to give a lesson to the liar and criminal Israeli rulers. The Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, SNSC, Ali Shamkhani, told Syrian Foreign Minister Walid al-Mualem in Tehran on Tuesday. It says, Iran ready to eliminate Israel from Earth. Air Force Commander warns. Hey man, Slakia, Iran. I think that's the correct pronunciation. Hey man, these Iranians, man, they don't play, man. All right, eliminate Israel from Earth. It says it's funny. It's funny. It says Moalem welcomed Iranian commitment in Syria, noting that Damascus will continue doing its best to protect military advisors of the Islamic Republic that, alongside the Russian military, were officially invited by the Syrian government to help it fight terrorism. The issue of Iranian presence in Syria has taken center stage as Washington starts to withdraw its 2,000 troop contingent from the war-torn country. Last month, Israel warned that IDF forces would continue to attack Iranians in the region. It says it's very important that we continue to prevent Iran from entrenching in Syria. In many ways, we block that advance, but we are committed to continuously blocking it, continuously preventing Iran from creating another war front against us right here opposite the Golan Heights, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Tuesday, announcing that he would meet Russian President Vladimir Putin later this month to discuss developments in Syria. So we're going to see how that goes. It says Damascus has repeatedly denounced Israeli airstrikes, stressing that they constitute a rampant violation of its state sovereignty and often aid terrorists on the ground. Russia has joined Syria in condemning Israeli operations as often reckless acts that sometimes endanger civilian flights in the area. It says Syria threatens to strike Tel Aviv airport unless UNSC acts against Israel's impunity. All right, so now you got Iran wanting to blow Israel off the face of the earth, and now you got Syria, which wants to, send some shots to Israel too. All right. It says last year Damascus received a batch of Russian S-300 air defense systems, which was supplied to Moscow in the wake of the downing of the Russian, I want to say II or 2 or -20 um, reconnaissance plane with 15 servicemen on board on September 17th. Russia said the tragedy occurred because an Israeli F-16 jet used the recon plane as cover during its raid on Syria. Similar reckless behavior was witnessed during Israel's airstrike on Christmas Day when IDF jets approached their targets just as civilian aircraft were landing at Beirut and Damascus airports. Now, of course, the Lord did talk about, prophecy concerning the wars and rumors of wars. This is all a part of that. All right. And it's not going to 100% take effect, okay, until the necessary prophecies that are before the Third World War come to pass. So for now, of course, you're going to be hearing war talks. And the more and more intense it sounds and it gets, really just means the more closer we are to the prophecies that take place before this World War III prophecy, the more and more closer we are to those. All right. So if you're hearing countries talking about they're ready to go to war with each other, they're ready to blast each other off the earth, and you know that the prophecy of the chip has to come first, all right. But you're hearing these war talks now, then that means the chip is closer than you even think, all right. And that's why the Lord put the spirit on the apostle Tahar, all right, to name this year the year Charagma, all right. So, this is just another update, all right. As prophets, we have to keep our eyes on the news, filter it through the scriptures, all right, and just keep measuring the times diligently, because these are all signs, all right, that the Lord told us to look out for, all right, so we can stay alert, all right, and not well, Spirit, I had this scripture still here, all right, right here, First Timothy, Slakia, First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 4. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Why? Because we're watching and we're aware that the so-called thief is coming, so we're ready. He says, ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Now, obviously, it doesn't mean you got to stay up the rest of your life. You can't go to sleep. No. All right. But it's talking about being sober minded and constantly watching. All right. Because that's why they have the term woke. This person is woke. What's the opposite of that? Sleep. Okay. So we have to be constantly watching these signs. All right. And not getting distracted by the ways of this world. It says, for they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet and the hope of salvation. All right. So, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. Hey, we're just going to keep our eyes on the news and keep watching for these prophecies, man, because they're coming to pass real quick. All right. So I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. Until next time, Shalom.